I think we all work way too hard for our money to keep spending it on things that we don't need. And when I personally finally overcame my shopping addiction, not only was I able to save money, I was also able to buy timeless classic pieces that I can take with me for the rest of my life because they are high quality and they last me forever. And that is more worth it to me than spending $100 on 10 Shein tops, for example. Or worse, like buying 30 Stanley cups that are the whole purpose of a Stanley cup is that it's reusable so that you only need one, not like 100. And that's also how I'm able to accumulate all of the nice like furniture that I have, all the nice home decor pieces, because I'm buying it for the rest of my life and I'm going to take this with me wherever I move. So in the long run, that's actually saving me more money than to go to IKEA and buy something that breaks in a year and I have to go and replace it. It's truly time to just get rid of things that we don't need. I do realize that spending $100 on a nice top that lasts you 10 years is in itself a privilege. But in order for us to look past that, we need to first see that this is not just buying a $100 top for the sake of doing it. It is an investment, not only into our financial future, because that one top will outlast 10, 15 tops from Forever 21 or Shein. It will also make us look more expensive and respectable. There's one quote that really woke me up to my overconsumption habit because I was just buying so much cheap stuff online. And that was, "The poor man always pays twice." And honestly, I was paying more than twice because not only was I spending money buying like a million pieces of junk, I was spending my time going through hundreds of pages of online shops, and I was spending my energy to do this. And guys, let's be real, there are a million other better habits that we can form than chronic online shopping. And in the past, I felt like I struggled a lot with being easily influenced by influencers and online ads and social media, and always feeling like I need to keep up with the latest trends and keep up with the Joneses. And it's an overspending habit, it's shopping addiction. I'm sure some of you guys have also experienced this. Of course, I can blame the marketing industry, I can blame capitalism, I can blame social media, but at the end of the day, the problem always lies with me. What was the root of the issue that I was trying to put a band-aid over with overconsumption, with just chronic online shopping? What was I really trying to solve? And really, the whole root cause of my problem, my addiction, was just because I needed to fill out a hole that I have on the inside, that maybe I just didn't have a purpose. And that became really noticeable to me when I realized that even when I was shopping, I was getting all these packages, I was getting all this dopamine hits cycle after cycle, that I still didn't feel content with what I had. And whether it's because of my dissatisfaction of my life or whether I was feeling bored or whatever it was, I felt like I had to beat my day-to-day, which was monotonous, it was boring, and I didn't like how I lived, with online shopping because it was my escape. It was something that made me feel happy. It was instantaneous. And then, soon enough, it turned into a hoarding habit. I would end up buying bottles and bottles of new skincare products that I didn't need. I wouldn't finish what I already had. And so I couldn't really see the value of my money. And before I knew it, my house was just bursting with junk and I had to spend days and weeks of my life just decluttering and cleaning. And the more stuff you have, the more you have to clean up. And that made me realize, wow, I had a huge problem. I need to stop this. And so I spent even more time and more energy just selling my clothes on eBay and Depop and throwing things away that I didn't need, selling stuff on Craigslist that I no longer had, the room for. And while I was happy to, see some of my money come back from selling all of the junk that I didn't need, that also taught me a huge lesson. Not only was it having such a deep effect on finances because overconsumption, overspending causes you to spend more than what you actually have. And I was lucky to get out of it without any kind of debt or having to borrow money from people. Even if we're getting cheaper alternatives to things, we're just cheating ourselves in the end because the quality never lasts. It's never really satisfying because you're not actually getting what you want. So you're gonna end up buying something that's a better version of it, and you end up having 5 versions of the same thing. And when it becomes such a bad and deeply ingrained habit in our lives that we might not even realize how much money we're actually spending day by day, week over week, month over month until it's too late. So if we're not being careful and we're living paycheck to paycheck, we're one incident away from being in total financial ruin. And lifestyle creep is so real. You don't need the $20 cocktail. You don't need the $50 brunch. And if you have friends that force you to spend money on these things, you don't need those friends either. And you definitely don't need 30 shades of lip gloss and 50 hats or, These days, I rarely buy products that I don't need because I spend hours and hours just doing the research to see if I really actually need this thing before I buy it so that I can save many more hours down the line, decluttering, getting rid of it, buying 5 more versions of the same thing. And if it's a piece of clothing, I make sure it's super versatile. I can wear it in at least 3 to 5 different occasions and it's good quality. It's gonna last me. I go to a consignment shop or a secondhand, good quality boutique or even the Goodwill and pick out something that's actually high quality that I will actually wear so that I don't break the bank at the same time. You don't have to go and spend $300 on one piece of clothing. You just don't. And the other thing is, if you don't like it, if it doesn't fit well on you, you can return it. It's okay to return things that you don't like, or you can resell it online. And you should never feel bad about that. Never. And every day I still deal with this, okay? I go online and see a girl promoting something this so-and-so product cleared her skin. Oh my gosh, it cleared her skin, solved her problem. Will it solve my problem? And you really have to stop to think, will it actually solve my problem? Because we are 2 different people, we live different realities. So do I even have that same problem? For example, if I see a TikTok about double cleansing, washing your face twice and that you need an oil cleanser, do you really need an oil cleanser? Can't you just use the same cleanser twice? And if this person has oily skin and they need this oil cleanser, for example, do I have the same problem? Or when this person's oh, I wear this wrist towel thing around my wrist so that I can stop water from dripping down to my sleeves when I wash my face. Is that really big enough and an issue to actually go out and buy this thing? And will I actually end up using it? Or am I just telling myself yes, this will solve my problem of water dripping down my sleeves when I can just, I don't know, roll up my sleeves? I really started asking myself these questions. If I see a girl wearing something cute on TikTok, am I just buying into it because it's a trend? Will it actually look good on me? Is it just her body that looks good and not the outfit itself? And Einstein said this, we cannot solve a problem at the level of consciousness that created it. And in order to change our habits, we first have to understand and think very deeply about the purpose of why we need it in order to stop the impulse buying. And I think that identifying the things that I did, and even doing helpful things like making a shopping list, for example, and using the cart functionality, putting it in your cart and then just leaving it there for a week. And don't be influenced by the cart abandonment emails that they send you hey, excuse me, you left your cart hanging. Don't be influenced by any of that. You're not an easily influenced person. And for me, this involved asking myself questions what is the true priority for me? How do I want my time and money to serve me? And really just thinking about what will actually make me happy, right? And it's not spending $100 on Shein on random self-care things that I will stop using after 1 week. And personally for me, buying experiences like traveling and vacation, that makes me happy because it buys me part of my purpose in life, which is to see the world. But it's also true that buying expensive vacations and luxury, it doesn't necessarily make me any happier than a budget vacation. So I know where my priority is and where my money should go. And because I'm able to take this frugal approach to things and really think about it from a purposeful way rather than, will this make me happy tonight if I just click order? I have been able to use my hard-earned money to serve me in many other ways. And I feel more in control of my life. I feel more in control of my money and my spending. And that is so empowering to me. And really putting things in the bookmark and saving it for later really helped me because if I didn't really need it a week from now and a month from now, I didn't need it at all, period. And I already have something and I see an ad for something like a new protein powder and I already have a protein powder. I make sure to finish what I have first before I try this new thing, because then I'll be replenishing what I need. So only rebuying things that I run out of, not because it's on sale. I never buy anything just because it's on sale. I only buy if I run out of it, or if it's totally worn out and I need something new, and then it so happens to be on sale, then great. Not buying something will save you more money than buying something that you didn't need at 35% off. And really the true purpose of all of this is to steer my day-to-day habits away from spending hours scrolling and like buying stuff and consuming, and instead using that time and money and energy into something that I can build my life with. Because I've never once thought about my cute outfit when I'm having fun with friends and family. I never once thought about like the brand of collagen powder I was using when I'm creating life experiences, or even like what shade of lip gloss looked good on me while I was having an amazing day outside. And I'm sure I looked good because I wore what I felt comfortable in, and not because of like the brand name of something that I was wearing. And no amount of owning cool things will make you feel cool on the inside. Not even if it looks good on the Instagram girl. It may not necessarily make you feel the same. None of that compares to the books I've read, the movies I've seen, the shows I've gone to, the experiences I've had, the travels I've done. And I just need to keep reminding myself of the purpose of everything that I'm doing, and it needs to reflect on my spending habits. You know what I mean? If you're a shopaholic, you need to ask yourself, why do I define myself as a shopaholic? What is my real purpose in doing everything that I'm doing? A purpose that can overshadow the need for buying useless junk. And really just analyze your budget, go over it every month and track your spending habits, and really analyze your patterns and your habits to see what actually is going wrong, and then identify the root cause of why you're doing that. And I want to be really real and tell you guys that I'm a small YouTuber at the moment, but in the future, if I ever get approached to like sell anything, and first of all, I will only promote or be sponsored by brands that I really believe in. Like I will never promote anything that is not true to myself, my identity. And I'm telling you, I never expect any of you guys to buy anything that you don't need. And if you feel like you might need it, do research and see if it actually fits into your life, and really be consuming in a way that serves you and not the other way around. I never want to promote overconsumption. I never want to promote overspending and ruining your life, and none of that, because it's dumb and it's stupid. And I always want to talk about quality and fit over quantity so that you don't waste your hard-earned money buying stuff that you don't need. And yeah, my whole purpose is creating educational content so you can weed out all of the garbage in your life, yeah? And we need to understand that the marketing universe, the industry, is just not always in our favor sometimes, and that there's so much information readily available for us to actually make informed choices in our lives, so that we're not making any kind of like impulsive decisions. It's always okay to sit on something and think about it. And if you think about it, like impulse buys is really where the capitalism industry makes most of their money. Like think about checkout lines, like Sephora, like they always have these little like mini travel size bottles of like stuff that you can try out. And it's easy, you can just grab it, or like little snacks. And like, you know, did you go to Sephora for snacks or to buy what you actually need? So yeah, all I'm saying is be aware and be mindful and be purposeful so you can save your money and save your time and save energy down the line, and make it everything in your life a resource to serve you and not the other way around. And actually just use your money to create more purpose for your life. So I hope that all of the tips and tricks in this video will actually help you kind of making sure that you're making the right kind of purchases for yourself and for your lifestyle. And yeah, I hope this video was helpful to you, and thank you all so much, you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.
Love is perfection.